we are speaking. You go outside this country, you want to eat fresh fruits, you enjoy eating fresh fruits. You go to our station market, the main fruit market in Kaduna State, especially during this rainy season, you don't want to eat fruits. You see the environment. So, be that as it may, Nasru El-Rufai from the word go knew he was going to take very unpopular decisions, whether it's a competency test, whether it's the right sizing, but he did something which I respect him for. And again, coming from where he was coming from, people already knew him, his antecedents. He was coming from Abuja, where he had demolished the houses of people like Amadou Ali, Pius Anyim, and restored the master plan. It takes a man with guts. It takes a man with convictions to do all that. So coming to Kaduna, he was well known. They knew him. Nobody would say we did not know the man we are electing. And people asked him, and he said, if there is need to do X, Y, Z, I will do it. So he is not deceitful. I'll give you an example. The competency test, people were like, no, you are going for a re-election, and sir, Your Excellency, Malam, please push this competency test to 2019 after you have won your second term. He said, that's deceitful. That's my respect for El-Rufai. He said, that would be deceitful. Tell the people what you want to do. If I do this competency test and the people are not happy with it, and in their wisdom, rightly or wrongly, they decide to vote me out, I will pack my bags and baggage and leave Kaduna. So he implemented several what many political analysts will call second term projects in first term, because he did not want to be deceitful, because he believed, he was convinced, and he's convinced about those policies and those programs, and he wanted to give everything his all, and he pursued those programs from first term into second term. So if you ask me, he is not expecting accolades. Like it happened in Abuja. I go to Abuja, now there are no street lights working, the traffic lights are not working, the shanties, slums are back and all that. But everybody acknowledges that he moved Abuja forward in terms of ideas, whether it's the Abuja taxi cabs, whether it's the markets like he's doing here. As we speak, about 16 markets are under redevelopment. I went to Kabbalah yesterday. I saw the ongoing work in Kabbalah Market. I saw the cemetery has been given a facelift. So he came to Kaduna State. He did not hide under any cover to say elect me, we'll do this. No, he made clear his manifesto, his covenant with the Kaduna people. I am going to do what is necessary to move Kaduna to the next stage. I'll tell you, the last 100 years, nobody added 1 kilometer of road in what we know as Kaduna Central Business District. Not 1 kilometer of road was added. It was not expanded. It was not added. Nothing was added to it. But as we speak now, Kaduna, whether you like it or not, has been transformed. And like I tell some of my friends in government, I say my happiness, my pact with El-Rufai is not about projects. Toyin, you can do projects, you can do roads. But it's about the reforms. And I'll give you a typical example. When he came, Kaduna State Internal Revenue Agency was doing 12 billion. By blocking leakages, by criminalizing cash collection, this year as we speak, Kaduna State is number 5 in the country, the number 1 ahead of Kano by far, and the reforms of the teachers, the competency tests, the recruitment of better teachers, and all that, it's not something we will see today. It's something that we're going to see over a period of time, but definitely he's been bold to take that decision, and he's taking it in the overall interest of Kaduna State. The reforms of the public service that is ongoing, it's something that federal government itself, but I know they don't have the lever. They don't have the lever. The federal government cannot do it. They have made the pronouncement. You read the Minister of Finance saying we are borrowing from the recovered, looted funds to fund budget. A country cannot run that way. And wait a minute. Yes, the Constitution of Nigeria, the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, Schedule 2 makes it mandatory. The government should provide employment for everybody, not only those who manage to get into public sector. So, how does me and you, how does the government cater for me and you if every kobo is spent on less than 1% of those working? But that is not even because when people look at this disengagement, they look at it from a very narrow perspective. They are sacking people. No. It's a package, and you must look at the package in totality, holistically. The Kaduna State Public Service Renewal and Revitalization Program is a package. Reform the mandates of the ministries, departments, and agencies. Reform them. They have been there for 100 years. Nobody has bothered to look at, in the light of 21st century, what should the Ministry of Education, what should be the mandate of the Ministry of Education? The education the colonial masters bequeathed on us, the educational system they bequeathed on us, is that what we need to carry on? Or do we need to change the mandate of the Ministry of Education from creating those who will be working in the public service? Because we are no longer looking for natives, as they used to call us during the colonial times, to work in the public service, typists and stenographers and all that. Now we are looking for people who can create jobs. So those mandates of the ministries, nobody talks about those ones. They are not tangible things people want to talk about. The creation of institutional councils, human capital development, procurement, economic development. As I speak to you, Dangote Pujo Assembly Plant work is seriously ongoing. As I speak to you, OAP Moroccan Fertilizer Company, they are actually recruiting top-level management now, and soon they will open. So El-Rufai has come, and you can count 10, 15 industries, whether it's a tractor factory that he has attracted, they are employing. So the employment, the government, the capacity of government to employ people is limited.
Okay, yeah.
So the environment creating. Hold on.
No. Just let me. No. Please.
Yeah. No. Let me land.
I'll give you a chance because I know the reason.
Creating the environment.
Emmanuel, I know the reason why we're here. I mean, we're talking about Malam Nasser El-Rufai since he assumed, office as executive governor of the state, 2015 till date. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. And you're here because just like I introduced, to my listeners, that you've been with him from a distance and even at close range, and so you know so much about him, and to talk about, what he has been doing so far. From all sides, you have been taking it, but let me just begin to narrow it down. You talked about sacking people and
Not sacking, disengagement.
disengaging, and some people have come from the other angle or the other way to say that yes, disengagement is not a problem. It's not a problem, but give us the reason to go on with our life, to live. And that's when you disengage, you give people something to go on with, because that's their entitlement. That again is one of the areas where they say Malam has not done well for them.
Good. I know where you are going. Now let me tell you something. Luckily for us, this information came from the chairman of the TUC, Trade Union Congress. He said Nigeria would one day they will acknowledge El-Rufai in terms of what he has done for the public service. This contributory pension scheme that we have was El-Rufai's making as DG of BPE. And he went to Obasanjo to say, look, he has that gift of foresight. The way we are going, we're already running into, you remember the days where you see army retirees on the streets of Abuja, pension not paid, and all that. And the way we are going to run into problem. We don't have, the country does not have this money to pay pension. That was something that is a landmark decision. So Obasanjo said, so what do? Let's reform the pension scheme. There are people who are already on what they call defined pension. They will exit at certain points. But now what we're going to do is to have people contribute towards their retirement. The government itself will pay, like Kaduna, I think, pays about 7% for every worker they have. You understand? So Obasanjo said, fine. And that was done. Now, coming back to Kaduna, I know they've done about 14 billion because they inherited a backlog. El-Rufai, I must respect him. I must tell you, I respect him. When he came, I thought the El-Rufai that people were talking about would institute a judicial commission of inquiry into Ramalan Yero's administration. But one of his aides told me, he said, all you will get from those commission of inquiries will be headlines. You will get headlines. You will achieve nothing. So ajalai and move ahead. Yes, there are issues that along the line will crop up. They are resolved. But there are issues that the government itself must own up to. The contractors are being owed. Pensioners were being owed. But what do you do? Government is a continuum. El-Rufai, look, I don't want to know what happened from 1999 to 2015. Those people, they are not my responsibility. That's the attitude most Nigerians who have been commenting on this issue. That's what they expected him to adopt. Pay the people from 2015 that you had to dispense of their service. Pay all those people up to 2019 that you are still 2021 that you are disengaging, and forget the people from 2015 backwards. You don't do things that way. I want to tell you because I know that he's paying contractors zero kobo to 5 million, 5 million to 20 million. It's the same attitude that he has adopted on pension scheme. And I will tell you, the good news is that soon, I saw the other day, they've asked people to come for verification and all that. Soon, because the generation of people who started contributory pension scheme, they've even started retiring. But those ones is not a problem. You go to your pension fund managers and collect whatever is due to you. So the problem area remains the defined pension people. But soon, from what I gathered, Kaduna State will exit those people. they would have been able to settle them.
Okay, let's move forward. You have so much to talk about.
That's
yes.
something the listener, if you're a retiree and you have issues about pension, be rest assured. I'm sure. Please follow the governor's Twitter handle or follow his Facebook page, and you will know when they are asking you. Or you go to the Pension Bureau office on Wuruno Road and find out when it's your turn to be verified, and then you will be enrolled for payment and all that.
Okay, Emmanuel, one thing again that the governor made so very clear to all was that he was going to be governor of the people.
Putting people first.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I asked the question, how much of the human face has been shown in this administration, and how much of the milk of kindness, that has gone out with, matters of governance in the state? Because I'm asking this question because of the pains and groans that people say they are experiencing with this administration.
Toyin, we all have a duty. Of course, we all have conscience, and we have a duty as people who are enlightened, who are educated. We have a duty to correct lies, falsehoods, and we have a duty to point to that difficult road that we need to travel to get it right. It's easy for many of us to buy ticket now and go to London or go to Iceland or South Africa, but forgetting that people paid the price to get those places developed. I want to say this. I've seen El-Rufai in several occasions. Whether the burial of the Chief of Army Staff, I'm sure you saw that picture. He's somebody who, despite the characterization of some of his opponents as a hard man, that is actually very, very, very emotional person. Very, very emotional. And in fact, somebody, if you understand, you can emotionally blackmail. Maybe you go to him crying. You remember that little girl that wrote him, and he invited her and her mother to the government house. And the girl said, all I want from you is to tar the road to her, so that when we are going to school, we will not we will not be having bombs. And he started, I will do this for you. I will do it. And that road was tarred. So I want to tell you that Nasir El-Rufai, contrary to the impression by some of his powerful opponents, either those he denied companies when it was DG or BPE, or those that he demolished their houses. I have a friend who tells me, I will never like your man. That's the way he puts it, because he demolished. And I asked him, I said, did your brother build on a planned, did he build in a planned area or an unplanned area? I said he just went to an area, saw land, and joined people in building. And then when the government came and said, no, this place is meant for this, and demolished, he said yes. So he is an emotional person. He said putting people first. Putting people first that's why you will find out that he stopped his first term. He stopped the issue of sponsorship of pilgrimage, because it's not you and me. I never went on Jerusalem. I never went for Jerusalem pilgrimage. I knew many of the people in the Christian Pilgrims Board, but they were the ones always going. They never thought they could extend it to people like you and me. The same for Muslims. He said, no, this thing doesn't go to the people. So those difficult decisions that he took are for the people. The difficult decisions, Wharf Road, 3 years before they demolished those shops on Wharf Road, the government stopped collecting rent. The government stopped collecting rent. And I remember somebody said, I soon get mamu, chewaza suzo, nangaba, so dualizing hanya now, karmu dinga bia. But many other people, they were not that honest to own up that first Those are temporary structures, and that the government had put them on notice that when we come and expand this road. So what do you want to tell me? Those shops, the government would have kept those shops for those people, less than 20 people, or they would have they would do what they have done in the greater interest of me and you.
The program is Perspectives, and it's coming to you on Invicta 98.9. And this morning, we're looking at Malam Nasser El-Rufai, in his 6 years going administration in Kaduna State. What has been the impact, of Malam Nasser El-Rufai in the state, and talking about it from a close distance and from afar too, but knowing him this close too. Emmanuel, my guest this morning, is a public affairs analyst, a commentator on national and international matters, and also a columnist, sharing thoughts with me about how much he knows about the administration of Malam Nasser El-Rufai. It will be your turn, after this break to, ask questions too. But let's go for a commercial break. Welcome back. Is the program Perspectives this morning, and we're looking at Malam Nasser El-Rufai, Governor of Kaduna State, and 2015 to date, and how much he has fared in the state. And talking about this with us this morning from a close range for someone that has been following too and close to his workings in Kaduna State, Emmanuel is here with us. Emmanuel, another area, and this is one area that people say that, and Malam himself had talked about it, that, there will be pains and there will be gains. Yeah. And let's talk about the urban renewal program. Yeah. Some people were affected, and some would say brutally affected, and that some people may never recover from
how
may never recover because just like we've been saying, their areas or properties were swept away and all of that. And so the urban renewal program, which is a facelift to Kaduna, for some of us that were born here, we can say that yes, never had seen anything like that until Malam came. But again, the pains it came with. For you, again, I'm talking about governance now. That could it have been, could it have been in a way that people would say, yes, we understand you, and with all ovation say, go ahead, we are behind you.
Like I said earlier on, this man ran on his campaign on promises. And again, like I said earlier on, he was not somebody they did not know. He was known, well known. Then I'll tell you something about we Nigerians. We are very funny people. I'm not a hardliner, but I do believe that to get this country going, there are very, very hard decisions that a president or a governor or a chairman has to take. But I'll tell you something. In Kaduna now, people will think twice before doing certain things with impunity. I travel out. By the grace of God, I travel. Even Benin here, Benin Republic here, you will see law and order. Toyin, most people want to do business. The last thing on their mind is buying a land. They just look for a corner somewhere without regard for traffic, for pedestrians, for motorists, or anybody. You just put a bacha and you start your business. We can't. There's just no way we can tolerate that. You have slums. You have slums in a capital. It's not even in rural areas. You should not have slums. So to make an omelette, like they say, you need to break the egg. To develop Kaduna, unless we all want a lawless society. If that's what we want, then we can just tell El-Rufai, sorry, we made a mistake electing you. We will not in 2023 will not elect somebody that will build on your legacy. We'll elect somebody who will allow Kaduna to fall apart. They can make that decision. But being a well-traveled man, being somebody who is a QS, married to an architect and all that, and has an idea that we need, look, the urban renewal you are talking about, now you'll be able to attract. Look at the place, the various places. You have street lights. It enhances security. You have trees being planted. For every one tree that this government brought down as a result of the urban renewal program, 2 was planted. So you have trees. What will trees do for us? It will provide cover. It will provide oxygen, so you breathe clean air. So what else? You have aesthetics, beautiful environment. You take in beautiful environment. It's your right. So the urban renewal program, yes, a few people were affected for the greater interest of 4.9 million people living in Kaduna Metropolis. Kaduna Metropolis, Chukun, Igabi, Kaduna North, Kaduna South. 4. You have about 5 million people. So if on the whole, but again, El-Rufai is not that kind of person, you people. He plans. He demolishes a place. There are several shops coming up, malls and all that, where people can take and engage in their lawful business. So if you say, yes, he demolished Wharf Road. On Wharf Road now, near GT, Racecourse, there are many shops. So you can have a shop. It can be a delight to shop. And I must commend the young man, Hafiz Bayero, the MD of Kaduna Markets. I go to the market now. I can go to the market. Those days where people would load all their wares, there are no access road for people, and then that made it easy for pickpockets to pick your pocket. The market was in a lousy state and all that, and it took him guts to say no. Put your wares in your shop. You don't need to litter the walkways, and so now you can go to the market. So the point I am making is that we as a people must decide on what we want moving ahead. There are difficult decisions. I'm like you. It's our children. Do we bequeath a country that is functional, a state that is functional to them, or will bequeath a state that is lawless, that you cannot drive your cars, people are doing one way? That's something again that is worrying. The rate at which people are doing one way in Kaduna. I intend to see the commander of Castelia. You understand? So we must, to make an omelette, we must break egg.
And again, one of the things that I understand, from the so many angles that you're coming in with this, but one of the areas again that people say, how has Malam been on top of the game? And that's in the area of security. That more than any other time, citizens of the state may not be able to have
as
their
we speak
two
now.
eyes open.
Hold on.
Because security.
As we speak now, yesterday, Niger State, we are not happy. Nobody is happy. Whether it's Kaduna, whether it's Zamfara, whether it's Katsina, whether it's what is happening in the southeast, nobody is happy in the state of lawlessness that we have, the banditry, the kidnapping, and whatever. I will tell you, but you see, Kaduna's situation, because there are many people who for political reasons, whatever happens in Kaduna, they escalate it beyond your imagination. They kidnapped 200 students, Islamia students, yesterday in Niger. Before Greenfield and Afaka. They had kidnapped Kagara, and then after that Zamfara. But you don't see people make the kind of noise they make when it's an issue about Kaduna.
So you're rating how much is happening in other states?
No, you need to
Kaduna is Kaduna State.
Hold on,
I mean, that's
hold on.
Yes.
And you see the states that are challenged: Niger, which is in North Central, and then the North Central states of Katsina, Kaduna, Zamfara, Katsina. These are the states that are challenged because of that forest running through these states. So, what has El-Rufai done? First term, he created Ministry of Internal Security as a result of his experience from the first term. The second term, he created a ministry. And I want to tell you, what do you call it? It's already in place. What did Samuel call this place? At the old Operation Yaki headquarters, where these things are being mounted, cameras are being mounted, real time. At least the 4 local governments of metropolis of Kaduna can be monitored real time. Real time. That they did test run. That is ongoing. They are not things you will see easily. And I want to tell you, every Operation Yaki vehicle you see patrolling Abuja, Breningwari, Zaria, Sabinaka, Kachia, they are fueled by Kaduna State government. They did helipad at this town where you have this Catholic school on your way to Abuja, not Jere. What's the other town? Not Jere, but there's a helicopter pad which has made it easy for the Air Force to be able to immediately react to situations. Now there's a lot Kaduna State is doing. But I want to tell you people, Toyin, I've read the Constitution. The state governors are glorified chief security officers. El-Rufai cannot tell a recruit, go, and he will take instructions from him. Now, the number of police that we have, 9,000 to police a state like Kaduna, or 5,000 to police a state like Niger State, inadequate. So that's why the governor has been making this case about state community policing. And people say, can you fund it? Kaduna State is funding security agencies. So it can as well fund its own community police that can take instructions from the governor and do the needful when the need arises. You understand? So there's a whole lot. We need to get it right. The Nigerian police, the Nigerian military, they need to recruit more men. You understand? Let's be honest about this. Toyin, I was a baby, Civil War, but I grew up. I read about demobilization of soldiers. I'm sure you remember. At the outset of the Civil War, this same country that today has been managing an insurgency and has not been able to crush it, was able to crush the civilian, the Biafran challenge. What did they do? Simple. They mobilized every man and woman that could fight, gave them training, and deployed them. And in 3 years, the offensive was over. And Gowon came with reconstruction, reconciliation, and this thing. So if you ask me, the Nigerian military, they need to recruit 9,000 policemen for Kaduna State, a state of 10 million. or Niger state landmass. You need to know the landmass of Niger. It's 5,000 policemen. So it is a challenge for, and then not to talk of Borno State. The whole Nigerian military, if you put them one at every 1 kilometer, they will not cover Niger State, including all the generals. So we need Egypt. Yes, people will say Egypt is in a perpetual state of war. They have 400 and something thousand soldiers. I'm not saying the modern way to go is, but for now, we need more men, crush these people, and then do the investment. Because if you are talking of arms, military equipment, you are talking billions that we don't have. But we can recruit more men, take people out of unemployment queue, give them basic training, deploy them, and then crush these insurgents. Take over ungoverned spaces that is providing a hideout for them. And then in the next 2 years, each of those people that have been mobilized, Nigeria can afford to say, on your demobilization, we will give you 10 million. If you make it, if you die in the process, we'll pay your family XY amount. But we need to do something drastic. And if you ask me, recruit community police, very important. All we need to do is to put safeguards. If you ask me, the Nigerian military, we need them to get more men, train them, crush these insurgents, and demobilize them. And then we start talking about equipping them. You know what one jet costs or one armor tank costs. So we need money to do that. But for now, let's do the basic. And the basic is to crush kidnapping. Whether we do what the Philippines are doing, you kidnap, you will never live to kidnap again. They are very hard decisions. You understand? You see the Philippines president, the other day they were destroying cars belonging to drug warlords. And he says, we have to go the hard way. You just have to know that it does not pay to do drugs. It does not pay to do kidnapping. They also have insurgents in Philippines. They have insurgents in Thailand. They have all these things. But they are able to take very, very difficult decisions and get hold of these situations. So okay, as a people, we need to be sure what we want and do what
all right, I'll just quickly, create room for one or two, calls to come in. You've been following, and that's looking at Malam Nasir El-Rufai in Kaduna State. And numbers to call 081 40989 or 070 87 800 989. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Toyin.
Good morning.
Morning to your guest in the studio.
Good morning, sir.
It's Francis calling.
All right, Francis, let's hear you.
Honestly, your guest has always tried to his ability to defend his master. To my
so who is your master? So who is your master, Francis?
Let's get to it.
Who is your own master?
No,
hold on. It's important to let people know.
No, please, let's just
to my own ability and what he's trying to explain to us as indigenous of Kaduna State. Malam is trying his best. But there are some decisions a leader will want to take to consult the people and know what to do.
Okay, let's
Francis.
Trash.
Okay,
let's trash that issue.
No,
not the issue of master. Issue of communication.
Wait. I get him, but I want to take more calls so you can join. Join them, put them together. Yeah.
Issue of communication.
Yes. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, Sir Toyin.
Yes.
And good morning to our guest.
Morning, sir.
In fact, the government of place in data because you always put us in light to know what actually is happening within and outside the government.
Amen.
So I have one question that I think the man was not properly advised in the last this labor strike.
Okay, just hit it.
I was hoping that as the man would have used industrial relations because the way the government was speaking and the labor was speaking does not even help us at all because no matter what happens, let the governor embrace the labor. Because one of the cases there at the time, they were saying that the man does not want to invite the labor because he doesn't want to give brand envelope. I think they should rule that aside. This is an issue that the labor and the government want. It's only one thing. Once you want to start, invite us, let us sit together. To make you do that, just pay them. That's all. Even if you want to engage the whole workers.
Okay.
So that's my, and I also want to tell that let him try and see that His Excellency intervene in Analyst Limited. We are not in pay. He's not the person who closed it, but we want him to talk to other governors so we can be able to pay our terminal benefit for not pay for 18 years.
Okay, Comrade Gabriel, we got you on that.
He's a comrade.
Well, yes, he is. One more, and Emmanuel, you just lump it, and then hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Yes, quickly.
My name is Mike Baba from Romi.
Mike, just hit it. Let's hear you.
I say good morning to your guest.
Morning, sir.
Please, we should learn to call a spade a spade. You see, there are so many ways that things can be moved forward, but we are refusing. There's nobody that is perfect. There are areas that someone can excel, and there are areas he has to sort for knowledge from others. So what we are saying is, nobody is condemning what El-Rufai is doing, but you should look into so many things, like the issue of these workers. To me, why should they spend money like the previous issue of school feeding during COVID-19? Children were at home. How did they get to the children and feed them? Such money should be converted to a better use. And the issue of kidnapping, we should not be comparing what is happening in neighboring states with our state. We should like to keep our homes in a good shape. We should not be saying this has happened in this state. Why is it not? Why are they not bombarding people there? But they are bombarding the state government.
Okay,
we're trying to put our house in a shape.
All right,
then
Mike.
the issue of sorry, sir. The issue
I don't
of,
have the time. That's why. It's the time. Time is just not friendly with me.
Okay. Let me start from Mike.
Okay, you have,
Mike.
you have
Mike.
3 minutes.
The school feeding. The school feeding is a federal government. Is a federal government policy. It's not Kaduna State. So I think you need to understand that it's not Kaduna State. That's one issue he raised. The other one he raised is about.
It's about what Francis said too. Consulting. Now, it cannot be just one.
Now, let me make this. Toyin Alabi, you know your radio station every month, and you are part of a live media chat, which the governor, the deputy governor, and senior government officials take part in. The Kaduna State government, if there's going to be an award, will win an award for being the most communicative state government. The governors on Twitter, I always tell people, use Twitter, use Facebook, use every tool that you can, even personal letters, his email address, you will get results, you will get answers. The man in Rigasa who went to Rigasa, a citizen, but he decided not to keep quiet. He saw the state of Rigasa General Hospital. He took shots and tagged the deputy governor, who then was overseeing the Ministry of Health. And the woman left everything she was doing and drove straight to Rigasa General Hospital and gave the CMD an ultimatum. I'm coming back, fix this place. So the governor cannot be in Banawa, cannot be in Tudunwada, cannot be in Jaba. But if you, as a citizen of Kaduna, you see something, don't have this I don't care attitude. Make that little effort and take a picture, tag him on Twitter, tag any of his aides, and you will get results. So Kaduna State communicates about labor relations.
Yes, labor relations.
It's a dark world that I would rather live. But I will tell you, Kaduna State, I think, like I said, from 2015, El-Rufai came with a package, and the Labour cannot say they are not aware of that package. And it's in the nature of Labour to always make it look like they are fighting for their members. Otherwise, they will not be relevant. So that's what happened. I'll tell you what changed. Because Labour must also grow up. They need to be reformed. 2017, they came here. They demolished, they destroyed some places in Kaduna. They left. And that was one protest that Labour should have respected itself and kept away from. It was a scandal that teachers could not pass 70%. You are saying they should lower the pass mark from 70 to 40, and it's a scandal. So again, the governor prepared our minds on his inauguration in 2019 that Kaduna State people, I am asking in advance for your. I'm asking in advance that you swallow some bitter pills because we're in a hurry.
Okay,
yeah.
And that would just be about the size of it on the program Perspectives this morning, and we're looking at Kaduna State and looking at the governor of the state and how much that he has put the state together. Yeah, what are the ups for you and the downs too. But Emmanuel Ado, public affairs analyst, columnist, and commentator on national and international matters, sharing thoughts with us about what His Excellency has done in Kaduna State and how much he will do. Emmanuel Ado, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Toyin, for having me. And listener, thank you for being part of this conversation.
All right, Job, thank you for connecting us with the people, and Morpheus too. Wisdom, thank you for putting us in the pictures. We'll come back with Perspectives tomorrow. Good morning.